I never thought my heart could shift from pounding with love to pounding with fury. In a single night, it began with a surprise. I had landed early for my business trip, 2 days sooner than expected. My plan was simple: sweep Claire off her feet, take her to her favorite spot, the Ember Lounge, where our story first began, and remind her why I slipped a ring on her finger. That engagement band wasn't just gold, it was my vow, my future. But when I pushed open the heavy oak door of that lounge, I learned that a promise means nothing when it's only worn for show. The place glowed under dim amber lights, glass bottles shining in rows. Music pulsed softly beneath a low tide of voices. And then I saw her, Claire. But not alone. A man sat at her side, too close, his hand resting on her chair. Their heads leaned in, nearly touching, as they laughed over cocktails. Her smile, the one that once belonged to me, was now his. I froze behind a pillar. My breath caught in my chest. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe he was just a friend. Then she brushed his hand and whispered something that made him grin like a predator. That was the blow. Betrayal hit me like a burning drink, sharp and poisonous. I walked forward, every step heavy, as if my body moved without me. Ciele, I said, steadily, though inside I was breaking. Her eyes widened in panic. Then she forced a smile. James, you're home. Early. The man turned lazily, studying me like I was a nuisance. And whose this? He asked, as if I were the intruder. This. I raised my left hand, where a ring should have been. Her fiancé. The color drained from Claire's face. James, it's not what it looks like. A hollow laugh escaped me when I barely recognized. It never is it? The man shifted uneasily. Look, I didn't know she was. Don't. I cut him off, eyes locked on hers. This isn't about you. My hand slipped into my pocket, finding the ring I had once placed on her trembling finger. I pulled it out, let it catch the bar's faint light, and set it gently on the table. Give that back to whoever you truly love. And then I walked away. Outside, the night air was sharp and cold, but it felt cleaner than the poisonous air I'd left behind. My phone buzzed endlessly, Claire calling, begging, pleading. James, wait. Please let me explain. Come home. But I didn't. Not that night. I drove until I ended up by the old pier, staring at dark waves, slapping the posts. My hands locked on the steering wheel, white-knuckled. Memories swarmed, the first date, the shared laughter, the promises under starlight. Had it all been a lie? Or had I simply not been enough? The next day I went home. She sat waiting on the couch, hair messy, eyes swollen. James, she cried, running toward me. I made a mistake. It wasn't serious. We were drinking. He's just a coworker. Stop, I said, raising a hand. Her voice cracked. Please hear me. It meant nothing. You've been so busy, so distant. I wanted to feel wanted. Her words struck like a fist. So this was my fault now. I was working for us. I said, broken. For our future. And you repay me by this? Practicing betrayal over cocktails? It wasn't like that, she whispered. It was exactly like that. Days blurred into weeks. She kept trying. Flowers, apologies, late-night promises of therapy. But love without respect is slow poison. Out of anger and instinct I dug deeper. And what I uncovered hurt worse than that night at the bar. Months of messages, inside jokes, work drinks, that led to hotel rooms while I was away. Every discovery was a thread snapping in The life I thought we had woven. The confrontation wasn't loud, it was ice cold. Claire, I said one evening in the kitchen where we once planned our wedding menu. I know everything now.
Not
Just the bar. Her face broke. James, please, no.
don't.
You had a choice. Again and again. And every time you chose him, or at least not me.
She crumbled, sobbing.
I was scared.
I
Thought we were too perfect. I wanted to feel alive. I stared at her. You wanted
to feel alive.
but you killed us. 2 days later, I moved out. The ring was already at the jeweler. Friends called me
Cold.
Some urged me to forgive, others told me to expose her. But I didn't want revenge. I wanted dignity. Weeks passed. I buried myself in work, rebuilding a life that didn't revolve around her. Nights were hardest when silence pressed in, and I reached for a phone that no longer lit up with her messages. Then one night, I returned to the Ember
Lounge.
alone this time, but stronger. The bartender recognized me with a nod. And there she was, Claire, alone, staring at the door as if she hoped I'd appear. Her lover was gone. Her smile, too.
She rose when she saw me.
James, I didn't think you'd come. I didn't come for you, I said quietly. I came for myself, to make peace. Tears welled as she whispered. I thought he made me feel special. All he did was make me lose the only man who truly loved me. I stayed silent, my heart still aching but no longer bleeding. Finally, I said, I loved you, but I can't love who you became. That night, I left with calmness I hadn't felt in months. I wasn't taking her back. I wasn't plotting revenge. I was letting
Go.
Sometimes the strongest answer to betrayal isn't rage, it's walking away with your self-respect intact. Months later, I heard he had abandoned her. She was alone, trying to mend what
She shattered.
As for me, I traveled, met new people, rediscovered myself. Healing, I learned, isn't erasing the past, it's refusing to let it ruin the future. And the ring? I never bought another. Next time when I propose, it won't just be gold and diamonds. It will be with eyes wide open, because love is a choice, and so is betrayal.